how the devil are you? Well, you catch me today doing my same old walk. I thought I might as well go out for one. It's not quite as sunny today, a bit overcast, but here I am doing it again. I look forward to it every day. It gives me something to do every day while it's nice and light outside, and maybe not exactly getting huge quantities of vitamin D, especially if I'm quite wrapped up because it's fairly cold, a bit of a chill in the air. But it's just nice to get out and about and get some structure to my day, you know. Anyway, so I thought I'd stop here because I was doing my usual suburban walk to the river today, the river down there behind me, and this little lock behind me, I don't know if it's where boats used to pull in or something. On my way here, I thought, well, something that I do online quite spasmodically, I suppose, on my phone mostly, is I'm on a couple of dating websites, but one that I use predominantly, which is Bumble.com. I am on others as well, like OkCupid and Match, and a couple of other ones, but Bumble is the one that I go on most of the time. But again, that's very rarely, and the reason is that I hardly ever get any contact on it. You know, we'll talk about that in a minute. This might turn into a bit of a rant, but as I mentioned before, I haven't really had that much success with dating online. I have dated quite a few women in my lifetime, most of them before or around the turn of technology becoming so much online, and the internet and social media sites and stuff like that. So most of my dating or serious relationships, if you like, were done before or around about or just after that hit the world in the early 2000s. So, you know, that's a factor, I suppose, that I've got to take into consideration. I haven't had much success, and in fact I have only met one woman through being on dating websites for perhaps 3 or 4 years, 5 years maybe. I've only actually in real life met one of the people that I've been in contact with, and that was fine, but you know, it worked out. She was a lovely girl, but we just couldn't make it work because we lived too far apart from each other, and the transport network just didn't facilitate us being able to meet up, you know, combined with work factors and everything else that you've got to take into consideration. I've tried various dating websites, and the one I'm on now is Bumble, and the reason I'm on that is because with Bumble.com, there may be others like it, this is no plug, you swipe left or right, as is common with most of them. You swipe left if you're not interested, and right if you are interested. And then if you match with a woman, then she has 24 hours to get in touch with you and send you the first message. I like that because so many times on other dating websites, the man is, and I'm talking about male-female relationships now, there may be different dynamics when it comes to same-sex relationships, I don't know, or whatever. That's a whole new kettle of fish that I don't know anything about. With other dating websites, if you swipe left, you don't like. If you swipe right, you do. And then if it says, yeah, you got a match with this woman, then it's up to you, the man, to make the first move. And you can find yourself, because I did for a while before I got sick and tired of it, you can find yourself just having to sort of you've matched with a woman, you've got to send her a message, so then you've got to read her profile, you've got to send her a personalised message says something and asks her a question, or says something to her that makes her realise that you like the connection and that you're interested in pursuing it further. But if that's the case, if let's say out of 100, then you actually match with, I don't know, let's say for argument's sake, let's say 25%, right? So 25 of those you match with, you like. You've then got to read the profile, send them a carefully constructed personal message that relates to something in their profile, like, oh, so you like skiing, do you? Or something like that, a personalised message. And 99 times out of 100, that person isn't going to reply. Because they're swiping left or right, and I can imagine, there's that word again, I need to start using a thesaurus and coming up with different words for things. So, but I would imagine that every moment's peace. Hopefully this weekend it's going to be sunny again, and I can get on the train and go into the hills and away from everybody. Don't want to be talking about my dating failure. People listening, like that. Anyway, so I can imagine as a woman that they're getting hundreds and hundreds of messages, and and the woman can then just literally swipe left or right, and say, nah, not even going to bother reading that. Not even going to bother reading that message that guy has put that care and thought into, because I don't like the look of him. Everything's weighted from the woman's perspective. The women, of course, are gonna do the same thing, and maybe they do the 25% sweep right thing on guys that they like, and they're going to get loads of messages back from those 25 guys are going to message them, supposedly, and the woman doesn't even have to read all of them. She can just look at the pictures of the top 5, say, and then read the message, or what those top 5 guys said, and then probably discount a few of those, 2 or 3 of those, and end up with 1 or 2 people that she might be interested in, and take it from there. But because women will be getting, this is all statistics. It's all statistics. I'm guessing that if you're getting messages from a lot of guys, and you can then cherry pick who you're interested in or not, who you want to interact with or not, on whatever level, that if you can cherry pick what you're getting, if you can cherry pick thing, totally lost my train of thought. Big fat hairy bollocks. Yeah. So if the woman is able to cherry pick who she has any kind of interaction on whatever level, then she's going to look at those top 5 guys that she thinks are attractive, and that sent her a message, and they're going to probably be the ones that she's left with, that she's chosen and filtered down. They're probably going to be now this is mean to use numbers, but we have to quantify it somehow, right? So I don't know, I'm not very good at self-assessment, but I would say for my age and my level of fitness, how much money I've got in the bank, all of those things, I could give myself a score out of 10 for those. Money in the bank, 0. Or 1 perhaps. Let's give myself 1 for how much money I've got in the bank out of 10. My age goes against me. My level of fitness, 6 or 7 perhaps. My looks on a screen, when you're just flicking left or right on a mobile, and people are going through hundreds, dozens and hundreds of faces, literally, every couple of seconds, then I don't know, a 6 out of 10 maybe. I don't think I'm an ugly bloke, but I don't think I'm by far no stunning Adonis. So the point I'm coming to really is that by the nature of the selection process on most dating websites, a lot of women are reacting to and getting messages from and interaction from guys that are possibly above their score. If a woman got 10 messages, say, she might discount 3 or 4 of them immediately because of the looks of the guy. She might think then, oh, these 2 or 3 guys that are probably about my score, but I've got another 2 or 3 guys that look amazing. I'm going to see what they have to say, reads the messages, interacts with them, generally speaking, of course. The Adonis, muscle-bound, gym freak, daddy was rich so I've got a Ferrari guys, are going to get so much attention from all of these girls that they can just go around tagging who they want and, I don't know, maybe never settle down or just have the pick of the crop, you know, go on a couple of 2 or 3 dates a week, maybe more, maybe less, and you know, just take them for what they can get, and just take everything, full of promises and charm and all that kind of stuff. But actually, at the end of the day, they're just going to fob them off because what those 9 or 10 out of 10 guys, looks-wise, are after is a 9 or 10 out of 10 girl, and maybe even then they won't be happy. So these 6 or 7 or 8 girls are being not conned, but they're being led down the garden path by 9 or 10 guys, and then at the end of the day, when it all goes tits up, oh, he dumped me, you know, he dumped me, it was only a one night stand, and he promised that he'd call me again, but he never did, and all that kind of stuff. Well, maybe you should have gone for the 6, 7, 8 guy to start with. But you know, of course, if you go to I understand it. It's not like of course it's human nature. Of course I understand it. I would do probably exactly the same, and if I was a girl, I would probably make that mistake again and again and again. And maybe some girls just love the attention, and are happy with that, you know. But really, because I mean, if you go to a fruit and veg shop, you know, you've got all the fruit laid out, and you know, you want to buy a red apple, you're gonna go for the shiniest, biggest, plumpest, juiciest looking red apple that there is on display, without any maggots or scuffs or, you know, no misshapen bits. You're going to go for the best apple every single time. But you know, when you then find out that apple actually is, you know, very shallow and bland tasting and pappy when you get home, then you're disappointed and you wish you'd gone for the smaller coxes. No pun intended. Oh. So anyway, so that's what I'm saying really about. That's why I chose Bumble, because it's the other way round. It's the other way round on Bumble. The woman has 24 hours, I think it is, to respond to your match. You know, swipe right, you match. She then has a set amount of time, at least, to respond and send you a message first. She has to be the one that sends the message, and I like that, because it shows that she's gone, looked at her phone, and it's gone ding, you've matched with Bob Drummond, and she might then read your profile if she likes your picture. If she doesn't like your picture, then she'll probably just do the left. But if she does like your picture, she might then check out your profile, see what you've got to say about yourself, find out other things about you that your picture doesn't tell, and then if she's interested, she'll send you a message. Great. Trouble is, I very rarely get messages. Very, very rarely. I've gone for months without getting a message, and I've tried different profile pictures, swapping my pictures around, honest, clear, cheerful smiley face pictures, a variety of different scenarios that I find myself in, whether it's out walking or dressed up smart. You know, my profile contains a variety of different pictures. I've taken the time to complete a good portion of my profile so that the interested person can find out more about me, my hobbies, interests, things that I've got, achievements that I've had in my life, that kind of thing. Swapping the main photo around, all that kind of stuff, so that to make myself, it's a market. You've got to make yourself look like the juiciest apple, or one of the juiciest apples. And that's where I'm at with the dating. But I would like to veer off at a slight angle and talk about my experience of the left and right swipe. Now, I'm sure there's other people out there on the internet that have detailed guides on how to put yourself forward on a dating application. You know, I'm sure there's detailed guides out there, but I do find that, and this goes throughout all of the apps that I've tried, that a large percentage of women just don't follow best practice. Sounds very sort of sounds like a work then, doesn't it? It sounds like we'll be following best practice. No, but they don't follow the most, how can I put it? Okay, let me just talk about some details then. To most men, and I'm only speaking as myself now, but I'm guessing that to most men don't like pouty lips. When you stick your lips out purposefully to look like they're pouty, it doesn't look attractive. Some people inject their lips with Staf so that they look even poutier. That's ridiculous. You look like a blow-up Kiss Me Quick balloon from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. You look like a duck. It's ridiculous. You're not making yourself look attractive. Be natural. These are my tips, my advice for any girls out there that want to go on dating apps and find more attractive, wholesome, successful relationships with people. Because I would hazard a guess that the only kind of guys that are going to find pouty lips attractive are not the kind of guys that you want to probably be with. You know, they're aiming for a certain level of Oh, hello guys, how are you? Yeah, it's Future Pete here again. I know I had a fight with the lawnmower. Okay, I wanted to persevere and grow my hair long. I wanted to see what I looks like for once in my life, with a humongous beard and really long silvery locks. But I was convinced otherwise, that it was making me look older, scruffy, and that it would take years off me if I shaved it off. So here it is. Apparently you can still see the colour, which is fantastic, you know. Some people say grey, but I say silver. Anyway, that's not the point of this little interruption. Future Pete just wanted to add a few things as he was editing this video about dating, because it's been several weeks since I recorded it, the various clips that went into it, and there were, as I mentioned during the original itself, there are a few things that I thought I ought to add. So here we go. So let's talk about a few things, a few extra things that really don't do anything for you on a dating app. First of all, wearing sunglasses. Okay, maybe one of the photos of you on the beach, or you know, some such place is you can have a picture of you wearing your shades in the sun. But every single picture with shades on, we can only guess one thing from that you're trying to hide your eyes. Eyes, your eyes are the windows of the soul, as they say, and hiding your eyes can either mean that you've been out the night before and you're absolutely hammered, or that you're far wrinklier around the eyes and you therefore look far older than you actually are, or that you're trying to hide something. You know, the eyes are the windows of the soul. Let us see your eyes. Why would you hide your eyes in every single photo? Even pictures taken indoors with the biggest sort of 1960s sunglasses that you can find to hide half your face. I'm just going to swipe left because, you know, I can't see half your face. You've got to think about the hidden messages that we're very attuned to picking up from your pictures. When you only provide head and shoulders or just head pictures, what it automatically says to us is that you're ashamed of the rest of your body. We need to see the rest of your body. It's only a small part of the whole jigsaw puzzle that makes, in the end, that that could make you the person that we choose. But just like you like to see all of our body, if you just only see that part of me, are you going to choose me or not? You need to see in some pictures that's what I look like. That I'm not vastly overweight, that I'm so high, that I'm roughly how tall I am, my physical proportions. Am I built like a brick shithouse, or am I a little weed? You'd like to know more about me, and so we'd like to know more about you. As I say, it is only a small fragment of the whole picture, but we still need to know. Do you like happy people or sad people? So why aren't you smiling on any of your pictures? Which looks more attractive to you? This face? This face? Or this face? So why? Why stick your tongue out? Are you expecting me to inspect it? And another thing that confuses me, and I'm sure it goes the other way around too, where I always see women complaining about the fact that men posted pictures of themselves topless and next to their fast car with all the expensive jewellery on or whatever, things like that. But something that I've noticed more recently is lots of people wearing NHS uniforms. And I know we've got COVID and all that, and we've got to have respect for the NHS, and I do. I used to work for them. But do you think it's going to get you more brownie points by wearing your NHS uniform? I'm not sure about that. Another thing that confuses me is, in the literal sense as well, is why would you post as your main picture a group of 3 girls together, 2 or 3 or 4 girls, or a group of people at a party? Why would you do that? Why would you want us to try and guess which of the people in the photo is you? Are you ashamed of which one is you? And while we're on the subject, why do so many of you of my age post pictures of you and your daughter? Why would you do that? What are you hoping to achieve by that? First of all, are you hoping that we're going to guess which one is you? Are you hoping we're going to guess that one of them is a friend, or that maybe that's your daughter? Are you trying to show us that that's what you used to look like when you were younger? Are you trying to show us that actually you haven't changed that much, and when compared to your pretty young daughter, you barely look any older than her? Are you trying to show us that you're young at heart? I don't know. I don't get that. Someone please explain it to me. But so many of the pictures are with daughters or with groups of work friends at parties and such like, where we just have to guess which one is you. Or maybe that's actually a ploy, to get us to scroll further down your profile and then see other photos of just you, so that we know then which one was you in the beginning. Maybe that's a ploy to get us to look more in detail at who you are. Another thing, and I know this is going to be controversial with some people, and I accept that, but another thing is tattoos. I've got a tattoo. My brother's got a tattoo, or 4. If you're in the past, tattoos were kind of the thing that you had done if you were into heavy metal or rock music, or if you're in a biker gang or something like that. And more recently, anyone and everyone's been getting tattoos, and I think that's what the problem is. The whole trendy, let's get a tattoo on the back of both of my legs below the knee. What's that? Is that called the calf? That part of the leg, or even further up the leg, and this goes for boys and girls really, but you just see from a distance, some people just look like they're covered in bruises. They're not expertly done, they're not any particular amazing design. And I've seen some really good artwork, some really good tattoos in my life. One of my friends has got a tattoo of a dragon all the way from her neck, all the way down her back. Shut up, you gits. All the way down her back and down her leg. You know, the head at the top and the tail down at the bottom. And it looks absolutely amazing. And so it can be done tastefully by a good, well-qualified artist and look fantastic. And the thing is, with tattoos, you need to be really careful about what design you're going to have. If you're going to have words, what are they going to say? You have to be so careful, because that stays with you for the rest of your life. Just something to think about, because at the end of the day, it's your body, and you want to look as tasteful as you can. That's all I'm saying, really. And I'm considering getting some more tattoos myself, but it'll take a lot of consideration before I finally settle on a pattern or a design, and the colours and everything else that goes with it. Instead of just following the hipsterish trend and getting tattoos plastered all over you for the sake of it. Yeah, I mean, and again, a slight offshoot, porn is, readily available these days compared to when I was a kid. Just go online on any electronic device, basically, unless it's a toaster, and find porn. And for some reason, and this is kind of related to the whole thing of the dating thing, in a way, you'll see. Excuse me. For some reason, lots of porn companies, is that the right word, seem to think that the large majority of men like big fake tits, big sticky out bums, big pouty lips, loads of makeup, bleached hair. That's not the case. It really is not the case. Does the porn industry actually think that the majority of men like all the bimbo, blonde hair, big tits, sticky out bum, pouty lips and plastic everywhere? Does the porn industry think we like that? I know there has been a move in recent years towards more woman-centric porn, where there's more romance involved and more of a story, and less just wham bam, thank you ma'am, going on about it, less violence, less of screaming in pain and all the other sort of weird and wonderful things that I'm sure go on. And hopefully there is a slight change happening regarding that, but the problem is lots of people think that it's actually just men that watch it, and it's not. Women must too, and therefore it's the case that women are watching it and getting an idea from that what they think men want, but actually it's not the case. It's a twisted society, and I would guess that there are a certain percentage, of course, of men out there who still go for the whole plastic kind of fake trashy porn that is still that is mostly available. I'm sure there is a certain percentage of men and women who loves that kind of stuff, but really, no. Am I wrong? Do you agree with me, guys, or do you love that stuff? I'd be interested to know. Natural prettiness doesn't need all of that stuff to be attractive, and this is where it sort of ties into dating websites. You don't need pouty lips. you don't need to go like that with your phone and take the picture of yourself looking down so that everything at the top looks bigger and everything at the bottom looks slimmer. It makes it supposedly, you know, it makes you look taller, and it makes your legs look slimmer, and it makes your bust, which you're pushing together with your arms or your clothes or your bra or whatever, stick out like the Grand Canyon. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look attractive. The best way to attract the average man is to look natural, honest photos, not adapted by some application that gives you bigger eyes or puts sparkles all over your face or bunny ears. We don't need to see any of that shit. While we're on the subject of adding stupid graphics and stuff to your photos using some kind of app, what's all this about stuck-on eyelashes? It's been known for a long time that it makes you slightly more attractive if you have thicker eyelashes. Here, girls with naturally thicker eyelashes, you can. I don't know what it is. But there is something. It does add something to the way that a girl looks when she has either naturally thicker eyelashes or has been common for decades and decades now, or maybe longer, since the invention of makeup. Probably hundreds of years, if not thousands, actually. That men and women have been adding paints and dyes and other such things to their bodies and faces to make them look more appealing or more angry if they're men going to war or whatever. And there is something about thicker eyelashes, and I don't know what the genetic sort of primal reason for that might be. Because obviously, someone with bigger boobs is going to be chosen and thought to be more attractive because she might be better able to produce milk for her babies. That's the primal link for the reason that we're attracted to those things. Just a shapely body with hips, shapely hips, where the woman is more likely to survive during childbirth instead of skinny ones, means that she'll be better able to produce offspring for the future if she was to become your partner. That just the same way that women go for taller men, more muscly men, more confident, forthright men, because they want their inner instinct is to be choosing someone that's going to protect them and fight the battles and stand up for the rights and protects their land and protects their family. These are the primal instincts that gear us, that govern the things, the attributes, the physical attributes that we look for in a partner, generally speaking. The eyelashes thing, I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me what the connection is there. But certainly they do look more attractive the thicker they are, the sort of more luscious they are. However, why would you then go to a shop and buy fake stick-on eyelashes that make you look like some kind of insect trapping plant? Why would you do that? They look absolutely ridiculous. And you see girls with these things hanging off their faces, and it's almost, you can see that their eyelids are weighted down by these ridiculous big hairy spider leg things hanging from their eyes. what we want to see is classy, well-fitting clothes, a variety of different outfits, perhaps for you to see you in different situations. Maybe one of them would be at the gym, one of them would be on a night out or a restaurant, another one would be a walk in the countryside. Maybe you relaxing in front of the fire with your gym jams on, something like that. We don't need to see cocktail dress, tits pushed up beyond all belief, like two inflatable car emergency pillow airbag things. Don't need to see that. It's ridiculous. Especially if you've got it, flaunt it, of course, why not? I don't mean flaunt it as in show it off, trashily, in a trashy way, but if you've got a nice figure, fantastic. Choose some clothes that suit that figure and show it off to its best. If you've not got such a nice figure, do exactly the same. Choose clothes, ask a friend, go to a stylist, get some advice, and wear things that show off your figure to your best. So many times, I don't know if it's a northern thing or if that's just me being slightly inter-country racist in a way, but it seems to be that maybe it's down south now too, I don't know, but the whole thing that's been going on with it's good to have a big booty and all that sort of stuff, but you get people walking up and down Market Street in Manchester grossly overweight, and it seems to be acceptable now. The thing that was acceptable in America 5, 10, 15 years ago, longer ago maybe, is now acceptable here. And you'll find just huge people with their bellies overflowing, their far too tight lycra legging kind of pants, just bellies hanging out all over the place, a top that wriggles up, and pants that wriggle down, so that you've got this huge, great big thing. We probably do have to blame the fashion industry a little bit too. When you see fashions being displayed on the boardwalk, on the at the fashion shows, it's the skinniest models possible that are squeezed into these things, and then when these fashions become prevalent on the high street and in the high street shops and cheaper versions in Primark and H&M and all the other places that sell the fashionable clothes, and you get people that aren't skinny rakes trying to squeeze into these things. What's this whole thing about? Maybe this is just me, this is just my personal opinion, but the whole high-waisted jeans and trousers thing, I don't understand that. Tell me if you disagree, please do. But I think, in my opinion, that low-waisted jeans and trousers show off a figure of the curves of a woman much better than hoiking these big high-cheeked jeans, so we can see just how big your arse cheeks are, halfway up your waist, almost to your shoulders, like a pair of old grandad trousers, and with the result that we can see every single nook and cranny. Just ridiculous. If you are big, try and do something about it if you can. I used to be huge. I used to be a big fat blubber. And through exercise and diet, not dieting, but adjusting my diet to be more healthy, and exercise and getting out in the fresh air and caring more about myself, I've managed to end up as a fairly slim, slightly athletic build, with a bit of a very hint of a over 50s paunch, which thankfully during the last year of lockdown has reduced significantly due to not going to the pub every weekend. So one thing that I learned about putting on weight, because boy have I put on weight in the past, and my weight has fluctuated throughout my life, as with anybody else's, I imagine. Some more than others. Some people seem to be able to eat whatever they like and never put any weight on, and other people, you only have to look at a cake, as the phrase goes, and it's round your waist. But one thing that I have learned through various eating options, if you like, that I've tried throughout my life, is that the key killer here is sugar. And we've been told by the authorities, by doctors, by health advisors for decades now that fat is actually the problem when it comes to putting on fat. And I would agree to a certain extent, but I would say that the biggest threat here is sugar. All over the world, people consume far too much sugar in their diets, and it's probably in almost everything that you eat, unless it's completely natural, like a joint of meat or some vegetables, which obviously still contain their own natural sugars, but sugar that's been added into the foods that we buy, and this could take the form as sugar itself, that we have in our tea or coffee, or sprinkled on your cereal, or as larger molecules, carbohydrate molecules that eventually get broken down into sugars. And sugar is the key. Is that it's linked to heart disease, it's linked to putting on weight, and all the myriad of medical complaints that come along with all of those things. Have a look into it yourself, and go and do some investigation into it. There was one lady, Russian scientist, her name escapes me. She had bizarrely an English sounding name because I think she was married to an English or a Western gentleman, and I remember watching a doctor, watching her videos on YouTube, and she brings it home to the fact that sugar is the killer, not fat. In fact, we need fat in our diets. Without going too deep into it, there are obviously good fats and bad fats, as we're probably most of us aware now, and I haven't got time to go into it, but if you're interested, go and look it up. Most of the animal fats we actually are good for you. Things like lard is actually in a lot of respects better for you than butter. Butter by itself is better for you than any of the margarines or fake spreads that they've invented. We need fats, to put it very simply, to make sure that the synapses in our brain and our nerve cells function correctly, because without those we don't function correctly, and all sorts of all sorts of problems, mental problems can stem from that, and they're only just beginning to delve into the secrets behind all of this now, but it's a very interesting, not breakthrough, because people during the war were eating loads of lard, and far less sugar than we do now, but it's an interesting topic, and I would go and research that. If you want to lose weight, stop eating sugar, stop eating carbs, look into things like the paleo diet, try to eat meat, fish and vegetables and fruit rather than carbohydrates all the time. I lost most of my weight apart from stopping or reducing the amount of beer that I drink, of course, cutting out almost entirely rice, pasta and bread from my diet, and eating as much fat and meat and vegetables and occasionally fruit as I can. So a little off topic there, but do what you can to fit into nice clothes. And if you're still struggling with that, do what you can to make the clothes fit you and look good. You know, stylists like Gok are obviously professionally trained to give advice about stuff like that. And you see some of these trashy makeover programs on TV, but they do work. You can choose colours, patterns, shapes of clothes that show off your figure at its best. So there we go. I mean, everyone's different. Thank the Lord. You know, everyone's different. We're all attracted to different types of people. Some fat people like fat people, and some fat people like skinny people. Some skinny people like fat people, and all sorts of other different combinations of all of those. Thank God, because we all look different. Every single person on this planet looks different to the other one, and hopefully there's somebody out there that we're attracted to that's attracted to us. That's the ultimate goal, I guess, isn't it? But also delving a little bit deeper into the profile itself. One thing that really gets on my tits is things like must be good at banter. I hate that word. Absolutely hate that word, because it insinuates that all you want from the person you want to date is the ability for them to be able to make light-hearted, superficial, amusing conversation about stuff. Surely, and then maybe later down in your profile you say looking for marriage. Well, those two, in my opinion, don't go together. If you want banter, go to a nightclub. You know, go and dress how I've just talked about, and go to a nightclub and banter with each other. That's a really superficial, meaningless, empty, supposedly funny way of talking to each other. What was that program with Cilla Black? Blind Date. That's the kind of thing I imagine when I think of the word banter. So these are my personal opinions, of course, but I would avoid words like that. I would avoid phrases like must be, must have, otherwise don't bother kind of thing. Must be taller than me. Must be rich. Must have his own car. Must have no kids. You know, all of those demands. Why are you demanding that the person you want to meet fits all of these criteria? I know that's the idea of a dating app, is to wheedle down all the possibilities and to hopefully find a solution for you to that in the light of with the result of providing you with a successful date, and maybe if that's what you're looking for, a partner or marriage or kids or some kind of settling down or whatever it is you want. So why all these demands? It doesn't make sense to me. Why not just get there and find out? Because I mean, and conversely, or whatever the word is, I sometimes feel like putting demands on my profile that say things like no pouty lips, no pushed up boobs, you know. So maybe I'm just as bad. Am I? I don't know. But I haven't put those demands. I just swipe left. You know, if you've got any of those things that I don't like, I just swipe left. So in the context of the words that you use to describe yourself and the requests that you make for the person reading to be or not be, I would say that's another thing to be wary of. And you know, when you get to my age, 150. Most of my potential matches, if I was to narrow down my search to women between the ages of 49 and 51, say, I would find probably that, and this is based on my own reading of profiles, I have found that a very large percentage of those women have already got kids. They've probably been married, maybe divorced, maybe separated, maybe even not even married to start with, maybe even several partners or several marriages or kids to several different people. But most of the women my age have got kids, and I don't know why I was saying that. Do you? The thing about kids as well, when the majority of women on my dating websites that I've looked at have kids, and it makes you think, well, why then are you on a dating website? Well, you've obviously separated or divorced or lost your husband in somehow, and it makes you think, why did that happen? How do I know that the same relationship problems that obviously caused that are not going to happen between us two as well? Apart from all the fact of having to take on someone else's, as some would put it, burden, baggage from a previous relationship, and maybe be called daddy or maybe not be called daddy, be called all the names under the sun, be resented by the child or children, all the problems that can arise from taking a child with you into a new relationship. And it makes me think, at least, what were the cast lists of the problems that caused the first or the second even or third separation from a man, and how is it going to all work? How do you expect me to, are you just looking for someone to provide for your children or be there as a father for your children? And then you might see in the profiles some comments like, this so and so is my world, well, that in that case, am I always going to be second place? And the traditional, if you like, kind of hope that you have when you enter into a relationship with someone, a romantic relationship, is that you're going to be the one, not the second. So lots of things to think about there. Yeah, so there we go. Going to try down the other side of the canal as I did the other day. Less people, less joggers. Doesn't look so bad today on the other side, but just nice to be by myself, peace and quiet, with the added slight risk, of course, of disturbing a homeless guy or gal under the tramway undercourse, but hey, whatever, just doing my own thing. Anyway, so where was I? I was talking about what the fuck was I talking about? I was talking about dating apps and some of the negative things that I've found about being a man on a dating website looking for women, and some of the ridiculous things that you see, and you know, just think about it, girls, you know, just think about the things that I've said, and look for other people's advice as well, online, about how to go about things, because really really, when it comes down to it, you'll be doing yourself a favour if you paint a more honest picture of yourself, and you'll be attracting, you know, classier guy, you know, if that's what you want. If you want trash, dress like trash and speak like trash. I guess that's the crux of it all. We just negotiate this corner without falling in. Oof. So there we go. And is there anything else that I wanted to say about the topic? Well, no, not really, but I'm sure I'll come back to it at some point. One of the reasons, of course, that I know so much about it is because I have been on dating websites and lots of different types for many years, and there was one actually that I subscribed to for a year, or is it 6 months or 9 months or something, and by paying the subscription, now, and that's another thing, I don't know whether is it free for women? Are some of them free for women? Is it cheaper for women, some of them? I don't know, I'm not a woman, so I haven't approached it from that avenue. But certainly for men, it's a dear do. You know, it really is quite a dear do. And they offer discounts, you know. 1 month would be, I don't know, 20 quid or something, and 3 months will be, and work out at £18 a month, and 6 months will, you know, it's cheaper the longer that you buy into it. But it is quite expensive. And if you use the free versions, you get constant reminders that, oh no, you can't do that because you need to pay for the full version to be able to do that. You can't see who's visited your profile. Some of them you can't even see the woman's profile in detail without paying. So I did once. I paid for a fairly lengthy subscription. I think it was 6 or 9 months or 12 months or something. And I think that was on okcupid.com, and sorry, tram's going over the top again, quite noisy. It's maybe not so bad on the phone, on the video, because when I played this yesterday's video back, it didn't sound quite so loud, but it really rocks you through to your bones, that vibrating in the bridge above. Anyway, moan. So, yeah, having paid for a subscription, I'm not bowing to you, by the way. I don't know. I think these pillars are high enough for me to walk through without dipping my head, but let's just see. No, not quite, so I did the right thing. Can you imagine that? YouTuber found discovered knocked out under tramway bridge. Mid video. Good job it's not a live stream, eh? So, right, so, yeah, yeah, I paid. It's about the 4th time I've said that now, but I paid for this thing, and when you paid for it, you could actually see how many people have visited your profile. You could see all sorts of other things, like when you send a message, you can see whether they've read it or not. You can see whether they've even opened the message. You can see whether they've looked at your profile. All sorts of juicy things that you can find out when you pay the full subscription. And I was shocked by that. I was absolutely shocked because I was sending lovely messages. Some funny, some shorter, some longer. I was experimenting with a variety of different message formats that I sent to girls that I liked on there, and none of them seemed to work. It didn't matter whether I was funny, comical, cheesy, talk nice and friendly, or I tried multiple different approaches to try and get a response from women, and was absolutely devastated. It was gut-wrenchingly devastating how many people didn't even bother to just open my message. And you can only imagine that some of these girls were getting so many messages that they could again cherry pick which ones they read, which ones they didn't read. Maybe just by even looking at the profile picture, they could say, I'm not going to bother with that one, not going to bother with that one. This guy looks like a 9 out of 10. Let's see what he's got to say. Maybe it doesn't matter what you say. Maybe it's just about looks. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's as superficial as that. All it takes is you to be a 9 or 10 out of 10 for someone to pay you any attention at all. And that's sad. That's really sad because that's the way my life is at the moment. I have very limited other options for dating. I'm running out of ideas. I am COVID being one thing, obviously, which has put a stop to all sorts of meeting up that used to go on. But let's suppose that COVID isn't here right now. I'm not going to go to a nightclub. I'm never going to say never, but I'm unlikely to go to a nightclub again in my life. Perhaps with a works do, or something like that, or someone's birthday party. I probably will end up at a nightclub, but I'm not going to go out regularly like I used to every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night clubbing. So there's one avenue that is missing from my search opportunities to find the right person for me. And even if I did, I'm 50. I'm not a young, fit, skinny, brawny 18 to 28-year-old with cash to splash and doesn't mind, buying girls drinks all night and still maybe not getting any hint of a relationship out of it. That whole scene is probably out of the question for me now. Going to my local pub, which I love the people in my local pub. The pub itself hasn't always been in everybody's good books through decor and decisions and staff and all that sort of stuff, but that happens at every pub. There's always going to be that kind of thing going on there. But it's very much, pubs are unfortunately in England very much a male-dominated place. You do get women go there, of course. You do get women that go there by themselves sometimes, but that's very rare. Most of the time when you see a woman, she's with her partner, or she's with a group of friends and they're on a night out together. And it's very difficult as a single man to break into, obviously, any of those kind of situations, especially if you're not forthright and confident and, hey girls, how you doing? What are you doing out here? I'm not that kind of guy. Most guys aren't that kind of cheesy sort of inserting themselves into groups of girls, for example. that thing doesn't happen. So the sad thing is that you end up with lots of pubs like mine, which is a lovely local pub, great beers, great people of all ages that go in there, but mostly men, and a great atmosphere. But it's the sad plight of the single man, whatever the age, you know, to end up in the pub with his mates and never leave because there's never any opportunity to do anything else. It does make me wonder as well, you know, with the British pubs, you know, pre-COVID and post-COVID hopefully, but with British pubs being predominantly patroned by men of various ages, then it does make you wonder, you know, if the population is roughly 50% of each, and judging by dating websites, you know, there probably are as many people single of female variety as male variety, so it kind of, you know, following that logic, it makes me think, what are all the women doing if the men are all going to the pub? And my only conclusion I can come to, and maybe ladies you can correct me if this is wrong, but is that ladies are staying at home or going to the gym or going round friends' houses to drink glasses of wine and to go to book clubs and to watch films together and eat popcorn. So please let me know if that's the case. Ladies, if you want to attract a man, I would suggest drop the dating website and go to the pub. And I can hear everybody saying now, you know, get some hot beers, go join some clubs, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you know, maybe I will at some point consider joining a walking club. You know, I have in the past dated people from places that I've worked at, and sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. Very often it's the best way to do that is to actually meet somebody through somebody you know at work. You know, you go to a work party, or you meet somebody's sister, or you know, that kind of thing. You catch someone's eye across a room who you've never met before, but you're at a party where you do know people that know that person, and you know, the relationship can be born through that. So there are opportunities for dating in real life post COVID, and you know, I will try and explore those as much as I can, but it's very difficult. Online dating is an expensive waste of time, and doesn't mirror reality, as I started talking about at the beginning. You know, the 6s or 7s are going to go for the 9s or 10s, and average Joe gets left behind in the process. And it's a sad thing, a very sad thing.